WWE Hall of Famer and cannabis connoisseur, the Godfather here. This is WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana.
This is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
I am the youngest and fastest rising star in the history of professional wrestling. I am Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Nikita Koloff, the Russian Nightmare.
This is Brian Pillman Jr.
This is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Hey everyone, this is Stinger here.
And you are watching.
And you are watching.
And you're watching.
And you are watching.
And you're watching.
And you are watching.
You are watching BAM.
BAM!
Bam.
Bam!
Bam! Bam!
Bam!
The most badass mother effing show you're ever gonna watch.
One of the baddest podcasts out there.
You better stay tuned.
Watch these guys. Listen to them. They get it.
Watch Bam! Watch him breathe some fire.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of BAM. And we are in Christmas garb tonight. Why are we in Christmas garb? Well, I'll tell you why we're in Christmas garb. Unless you're living under a rock and haven't seen our advertisements, we have the cast of A Christmas Story here with us. And I believe Scott is falling asleep back there. Pick up, Scott. Pick up, you son of a bitch. I am your host, Carmine Sabia. Alongside me is Fragile. He must be Italian, Mike. Next to him, of course, the fake Italian, Nick Carnevale. Below me, he can blow me, ladies and gentlemen, Prince Akia. And next to him, Eduardo Montalban Williams in his ugly Christmas sweater. So first, we're going to bring on
baby face today.
That's right. Beautiful.
It's
baggy sweater.
First in the cast, we are going to bring on one of my close personal friends and the mother of my first child, Scott Schwartz, a.k.a. Flick. Scott, wake up, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the 6-minute intro. I put me to sleep. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, there's a lot of hot chicks in that intro, bro.
Well, what the hell that has to do with your show, I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't have many women on here.
I don't either. We don't have many women on here.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, I know. The women usually do come here for me, and then they come for me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So the next person...
Dream.
I'm a damn handsome man, especially in this hat.
Get the boys on so they don't fall asleep, will you?
I'm trying. I don't know where Yano is. I'm looking for him. He's walking around the house. He's chasing his dog. So I'm going to bring on... okay, I will bring him on first. This is... the man who was Grover Dill, one of the meanest guys in the history of moviedom. Yano, and how do you say it? Anaya?
Anaya, yeah.
Anaya, I like it.
Yep.
And a guy who we all hated as children, folks. one of the best movie villains of all time, in my opinion, honestly, and the best bully, I think, in the history of movies. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Farkas, aka Zach Ward. He's disappeared. Where'd he go?
There he is. He's beating somebody up.
I had to make an entrance. See how I did that? Quickly, I really edited that together. Bang. Impact.
Beautiful, man. So,
nice
all right.
to meet you guys. This is awesome. Let's get into this podcast. Let's get the dirt going.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you guys here. So, a lot of people, a lot of people here, man. It's a lot of excited people. We're happy to have all you guys here. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get to
Ruthie.
We're going to get to questions and stuff from you guys in a little bit. But so hi everybody.
So Danny, sorry man, I'm seeing a lot of fans come in, so I'm
man,
like saying hey to them.
Me too. So it's great to have all you guys here. So Zach, I fucking hated you, man. one of the best moments of my childhood was watching Peter Billingsley whip your ass. I tell you, it was classic pro wrestling. It was classic pro wrestling.
Yeah.
He gets his comeuppance.
Yeah.
And then he shoves Yano down.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I wasn't
classic wrestling. I was a heel, and I
wasn't okay. I wasn't okay with that scene, by the way. I just want everybody to know.
You find a safe place, Yano.
You couldn't. We were talking. Me and Mike here. We're talking about this today. You probably couldn't do this movie today, right? Because of the bully, and it was.
Yeah, it would probably get shut down.
It would probably get shut down.
Not with the honesty that they have in it. Like they've tried to do stuff, and it becomes so. It's like there's two levels of filmmaking. There's stuff for the pablum, for the American public, and then there's good films, and the two never really cross over. And Christmas Story was like an art film, but also made for Americans.
Yeah,
I don't think they could do it again.
And I'll put this to all of you guys. The question, and I was talking to Mike about this before. I said, the one thing that stuck out to me, and it was modest. It did modest at the box office, and it becomes a cult classic later on. And one of the things that stuck out to me is no matter what generation you're in, no matter how old you are. I was born in 1977. Kids born in 99, 2000, 2010. I mean, still connect with this film, which at the time it came out in the 80s was set in the 40s.
Yeah.
So it's like, and maybe you guys can point to it, but what is it about this film that, again, is set in an era of the 40s that is connecting with people that are born decades and decades after the movie is set?
Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I mean, I'll say that we all know that the dynamic in the family situation nowadays has completely changed because of technology. But back, a lot of the references, a lot of the emotions, experiences that the kids had, that the parents had, it's still relatable in a family environment. And so, a lot of the situations, I swear to God, it's like there's probably not one scene in there that cannot relate to somebody in their life at some point in time in their life.
Everybody had a bully.
So I think Bob Clark, Gene Shepard, they just did a brilliant job at bringing a script and a story to life by using all of those characters. And I could tell you that every time we go to an event and we meet people in person, it 9 times out of 10, there's 3 generations standing right in front of us. Yeah. And so what is awesome to see, and what, our overall long-term goal is to continue this movie in generations to come, because if your parents showed it to you, Carmine, then obviously it rang true for them. And they loved it so much that they stuck your ass in front of the TV and said, watch this movie. Right. And so that's exactly what probably you did. I don't know if you have kids or not, but this generate. Yeah. So, it's like, because it's such a relatable movie and it's got so many different values and morals intertwined into it, and plus it's the experiences that the kids get to share with their parents watching this movie, right? Which makes it even better. And they're sharing that experience with their kids. So it's like sometimes we see 3-4 generations that are standing in front of us, grandpa, mom, daughter, grandbaby. You know what I mean? It's an incredible thing to see, and we've seen literally tens of thousands of fans just like that. So
It's so awesome.
you know, this movie has been a blessing.
Yeah,
Smith loves this movie.
I think you brought up a really good point, though. Is like because it took place in the 1940s, it was a period piece, and you think about other famous period pieces like The Godfather, or Shawshank Redemption, or Hudsucker Proxy, and there's something about those that are like they feel like a tale because they're out of time, and so you're taken back to the sort of storyteller feel. Because I don't think Christmas Story, if it took place in modern day United States in 1982, I don't think it would have been as endearing. I don't think it would have lasted. I think it would have felt like a movie of the week almost.
But a point to that is that there's a movie now on HBO Max. I was telling Yano and I told Scott about it. I didn't tell you yet. There's a movie on HBO Max right now called 8-Bit Christmas. I encourage you to watch it.
Right.
Basically, 87.9% of the movie is a Christmas story. Brought in.
I've seen those, yeah.
Yes, it's dude. But when you watch it, it's like me and Mike were watching it together, and we're like, "Holy shit! And this is a Christmas story." They just completely copied the movie.
Yeah.
Except for like the ending's a little different, but I mean, other than that, it's a Christmas story.
I haven't seen it yet. Does it have any heart, or does it feel?
It does. Plastic? It has heart at the end. It's not the same, bro. It's not the same. Like, they tried to build it as a Christmas story for our generation, but it's not on my list of I gotta watch this every year.
Like the kids that are in A Christmas Story, we were kids. Scotty was a experienced actor with the toy and Kidco, and like really out of all of us, he was a big deal. But so was Peter at the time. But there was something that happened with that cast, and you can see it in the performances that was really honest and simple, and it felt very genuine. I always love that moment where Flick is showing Ralphie his messed up tongue. And he's like, he's got his tongue out like that. And you see, and Ralphie's like, yeah. But it's the most knee-jerk reaction like a little kid would have, And I wasn't there on the day. I'm not in that scene, so Scott can tell you whether or not that naturally occurred or whether Bob Clark asked for that. But at the end of it, that was his editorial decision. And keeping those little nuances in it, it felt like real people. It didn't feel like something like Hannah Montana and everybody's so polished and cute.
Yes.
It felt very genuine and unpolished. And I think that made it.
And I absolutely wanted to kick the crap out of you and Yano. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They would have took you down.
Fucking hate it, you guys.
Hey, you're not the first. You're not the first fan that has said that to us. Like I've had
of course.
Walk up and say, "Oh my god, I hated you so much."
I hated
that means you did a good job.
I hated you. Yeah, I just did my job. I'm like,
hate.
Awesome. Thank you.
Even as an adult watch, I'm like, these little son of bitches,
I have to say something here. How could anybody hate, though, Scott and Grover with that wonderful fashion sense they both had? I mean, they were without a doubt. They were the hippest cats on the block. I mean, I wanted to dress like that. I don't care what they were doing. I wanted to dress like that.
I just want to say one thing Eddie wanted me to point out. This is something that people always ask. Is the first question when I first met Scott, probably fucking 5 years ago on Facebook, is the first question before we even became friends or anything. The first question I asked him, and I'm going to answer it for the audience because I know they probably a lot of them are wondering this. What the fuck was on his tongue when he came back from the pole, right? Because everybody thinks I thought it was ice. Eddie thought it was ice. It's actually not. It's gauze and a bandage.
Mm-hmm.
But we all thought it was ice. And nobody ever explained it in the movie. It looks like it's just a giant piece of ice. So, Mike, go ahead. You ask your question, man.
Well, it's not so much a question, but an observation. I just want to say I went literally decades, thinking that your name was Scott Farkas, not Scott Farkas. I don't know what it was stupid I was. I never bothered to read the back of the box. I never bothered to read the credits.
It's not Scott.
What's that?
I know it's not spelled like Scott, but it's not pronounced Scott.
No, it's Scott.
S-C-U-T. Like Scott. Like Scott. Like shit. Straight Scott.
Yeah, the story.
There's a story behind that.
The story goes Gene Shepherd was Gaelic. He was Irish. Scut is a Gaelic term, ancient Irish. That means watery cow diarrhea. So you don't want to step in scut. And if little kids were being shits, you call them a little scut. So my name is literally shit. And then the last name is Farkas, which is Lithuanian Farkush, which means the wolf. So when he comes around the corner and you hear dun, 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 that's a theme from Peter and the Wolf. That's the wolf's theme.
Oh,
so I am the shit wolf.
The shit. And now that part of our childhood dies a slow death.
You know, Carmen, what I wanted to bring your attention back to Scotty's tongue. Imagine being 14 years old and having this piece of gauze wrapped around your tongue and you're having to stick your tongue out.
Mom, I'm doing
for
what's up?
Hours. Just try to do that for 5 minutes. Keep your tongue out. See what happens is you get drool all over your face.
Yeah, you can't do
this
it.
poor kid, he was dealing with that shit. Nobody ever recognizes that or knows that.
I couldn't.
Gauze becomes soaking wet. They had to redo it.
Thank you for your service, Scotty. Thank you for your service. Really
true hero.
Those IEDs in Iraq, just thank you. I mean,
yeah.
America salutes you.
A true hero. Scott, I have a newfound respect for you that I didn't have 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Normally, I just think he is a jerk off, but now,
exactly.
Now I understand. Now I understand the pain you went through, man. The pain. Now, of course, Scott, which was so cool for me because Scott's part of two of my favorite movies of all time. I love I don't watch movies. Like, I probably watched 20 movies in my life. And I've watched The Christmas Story on the toy on fucking repeat, like a zillion times. I could go line by line on those movies and just tell you, word for word. And I was talking to Mike today. I said, it doesn't matter how many times I watch the damn movie, it's still awesome every time. I'll watch it 10 times before Christmas, and it'll still be awesome every time. And I'll still watch the damn marathon, and I'll have the marathon on all day as I'm cooking and whatever. So it is timeless. Eddie.
Yes.
Go ahead. Whatever you.
What do you want me to capitalize on something you said?
No, just whatever you got.
I'm not sure. I was just you were having a back and forth conversation. If I can get you to be quiet for 5 seconds, then yeah, it would be a beautiful thing. So I could ask some questions to these guys on the most iconic movies ever. Zach, well, my first question is for you. I'd heard you'd been bullied in the past as well. I mean, did this help you in your role? And I mean, how did that work for you? Did they teach you how to be a bully, or did you just go off your experience? How did you nail that role?
Great story. Yeah, thank you for asking. I auditioned for it. Yano auditioned for it. I did a cattle call against 300-400 other kids.
Nice,
went
Danny.
down to about 50, 20, 10. I got the job. I was actually the sidekick, not the bully. Yano Anaya was the bully. And then when I showed up on set, that was the first time I met the director, and he saw that I was like a foot taller than Yano. Yeah. And he went, "Oh, you get his lines, he gets yours." And then we just were stuck together. He didn't want us playing with the rest of the cast. He wanted us to be an outside force, which I think is very smart. And then for me, I went to 8 different schools before junior high. My name is Zach. There weren't any other Zachs. I have red hair. I didn't have a dad. Didn't play hockey. Lived in Canada. So I was very much prime victim target material. And because of that, I was exposed to new schools, new bullies, new processes. And I got to see the repetition. I got to see the similarities, so I could identify that character from my own personal experience of getting into fights all the time. And so when I got to play that part, I had just spent time in Garden City, Long Island, Garden City, yeah. Long Island. And I've been around these kids that were named the leaders. They're such fucking dicks. And they, I just remember these kids. I was going through some garbage cans because, garbage picking was cool back in the day, or there was and they were getting rid of stuff. And I'm like, oh, they're throwing out all these old cameras and this cool stuff. And he comes over, he's the leaders, and he's the most uptight, just thinks he's right about everything. And I just remember disliking these people immensely and the way they were sneering and belittling. And so when we were doing our lines, I just fell into that role, imitating them. And what I loved about it is that he did get beat up, because I had beaten these guys up in my personal life. So when you have a bully and then you beat the shit out of them, you learn that they're paper tigers. And so that's the subtlety to the character is that Scott Farkus is a pussy.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's great about him, right?
Right, exactly.
But he's still bigger than all the other kids, and he's intimidating. Yeah, it was revenge for me. When I first saw the movie, I was with my mom, and they were playing dailies. This is obviously we shot on 35. I'm sitting there with Bob Clark, my mom, and watching dailies, which means quick versions of the film, not very well color corrected. And he sees the scene where I'm getting beaten up. He's like, "Oh, this great stuff," and he gets up, he walks away. My mom tells the story. She turns to me, and I'm crying. She's like, "Honey, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "But I'm so ugly in the movie."
Oh.
Yes, so upset. Braces. I'm just like, "I'm so ugly. Everybody's going to beat me up." Yeah. So that was hilarious. That was awesome.
One more part of that question. I got another thing because Mike said earlier, and it was actually something that we thought about in my house. How did you guys come up with those bully costumes? Like, did they teach you? Did you guys? Is that something you guys
Wardrobe,
touched on?
yeah,
Or just wardrobe?
They just picked it out of the 40s. You know what I mean? They picked out the dopest little outfits for us and just kind of made the scandals for everybody else.
That's where Yano and I first met, was it going through wardrobe, because they had a bunch of real stuff from the 40s. So that's the first time I met Yano. I'm like, hello. And I never met the kid before, and now we're trying on all these clothes that are itchy as hell, dude.
Oh my God, it's all straight wool. You know what I mean? It was wool worn in.
Brutal.
Oh my God. And okay, so imagine wearing knickers, right? With some old ass boots that I had no idea how many other kids wore these boots before, right? With this little tiny tore-up jacket, my little tiny hat, and it's 20 below outside.
Yeah, it's freezing.
20 below, we're working.
Yano is the guy who ran to get his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get my dad.
Yeah. And I was like, these little bitches. I was like, this little bitch.
Yeah.
Those outfits definitely nailed it, though. You guys nailed it with those outfits. I
those
love
outfits. And they wouldn't. I asked for the jacket. I asked for the whole outfit, and they wouldn't give it to me.
It's in the.
No,
it's
it's rented.
now.
It was rented.
It's in the museum. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to
really
because it was all rented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah, I guess that kind of leads into my question. You know, these outfits are in a museum now, which is kind of crazy to think, because you know what I've heard. I was born in '77, so this was '84, right, or '83. So I didn't see it when it came out. I really never heard of it. I didn't hear about it till it got on cable and stuff, and it became a huge hit. When did you guys realize that, you know, this movie you made that had, I guess, marginal success, came out Thanksgiving, right? And it was okay, right? It was reviewed pretty well, but it wasn't a huge, you know, classic like it is now. When were you guys like figured out or walking down the street and people started recognizing you and like, oh, you're that person from Christmas Story, you're so and so? When did it like hit you and you're like, wow, we're onto something here?
And let's start with you, Scott, because you're being quiet.
Oh, it was after the marathon. You know, once the marathon started, 96, then by like 97, 98, it really started to gain much more momentum. But I was already getting recognized from the toys. So
that's true.
It's different for me than the other boys, you know, than the other guys. That not saying, you know, because I had the toy, which was seen by many more people, but that was due to MGM not really wanting to give the movie a release, and then it gave it a release. But, you know, 400 theaters now is nothing. That's what we had the first week, was 400 theaters. And then it went to like 800 and 1,200. And then the Christmas movies knocked us out of everything. So, I mean, it's literally, it's the first movie that really we can think of, that it's not like 15 years later when people really find the movie as a big group. Everybody found it in their small little niches because of VHS.
Yep.
Hey, have you seen this? No, here, borrow my VHS. Give it back to me. You know, that's what we did.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not keeping that one.
It was the 20th anniversary where I don't think you were there, Yano. But
no, I wasn't.
It was Bob Clark, Darren McGavin, Peter Billingsley, Scotty Schwartz, me, maybe R.D. Rob was there. Was Ian there? We have a photo somewhere.
I don't think so.
But it was like, I don't think, but so it was like, what year was it? 20th anniversary, so it would have been 2003, maybe. Something like
the Toys for Tots Drive.
Yeah, we were down in like, something.
Laguna Beach.
Oh, cool. And I walked outside. We're inside the theater. I walk outside just to poke my head out. And there's like a line going down like 3 blocks. And as I poke my head out, everybody's looking to go, yeah! I felt like a beetle. It was crazy.
That's awesome, man.
It was crazy, and you're like, holy shit! I didn't know everybody. Okay, so it was
okay.
slowly grew. You know, it grew over time, and we kind of all grew with it. And now
Well, for you and
I never grew, so I don't know what you're talking about.
for you, but no, he's been the same size since the toy, which is interesting. But
I was talking about emotionally, but I know that Scotty has not grown that way either, so that's fine.
Scott, a lot of people don't know this, but Scotty is actually 4'2". But Zach and Yano specifically, did people when they seen you, you're going to a store, whatever, did people give you shit for your characters? Like, because people,
all right, no, so
people are weird.
I'll clear
separate.
this up here, Zach. So me personally, over the course of the last 30 some odd years, there's only been one person that's actually recognized me as Grover Dill. Zach Ward, no matter where he goes, somebody's like, because he's done fucking hundreds of films over the course of his life, majority in horror, you know what I mean, genre.
Yeah.
And so, and people, I mean, horror is like the most equitable fucking movies that exist, right? So he's got a lot of recognition when it comes to that. No matter where we go, it's
I'm
like
blushing. You
people
can't
recognize
tell
it.
because I'm so red already. But go on,
Yeah,
Jan.
so
Go
so
on.
for me, it's like
Yes,
when
Mike.
when a fan goes, "Oh my God, are you?" And I'm like, "See ya," like, like I'm good. So for me personally, I love my privacy, but at the same time, now what I've been doing for the last freaking 3 years, like my privacy got limited. So,
Well,
Zach
Zach
and I were at Disney together, and it was great. We went to the Indiana Jones stunt show.
How old were you at this time?
This was only a couple of years ago. It's like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And people recognized him.
Yeah.
And they're coming up to him. Oh my God, your Christmas Story and you're in Titus and this and that. I'm standing right next to him. Not one person recognized me, and I loved every second of it. People like, can you take a picture of me and him? I'm like, sure, I can take a picture.
Damn it.
And he's like,
honestly, Zach, does that ever get annoying though?
Yeah, absolutely. It depends where it is, and also it depends upon the person. I mean, most people are lovely. They're fantastic. They're very kind and respectful, and they're trying to share a joy of something that they feel that we experience together, and I love it. And other people are literally just the most invasive dicks. Like, I literally walked into a bathroom one time at a concert, guy's pissing in the trough with his dick in his hand.
Oh no!
And looks at me and is like, "Hey, it's the guy," and goes to shake my hand. I'm like, "No, you have your dick in your hand, bro." And I asked him to wash his hands.
You're welcome, Michael.
Because he was too drunk. And then 20 minutes later, he's walking by me outside. He's like, "That guy's a dick." I'm like,
yeah. Now everybody, yeah. So I'll tell you a quick story. Like when I was a little kid, we went to this hotel, me and my mom and a couple of people, and there was a lot of wrestlers there. And I see these wrestlers. I'm like 8 years old. Okay, I don't know nothing. I see these wrestlers and they're having dinner, and I'm about to run up to them, and my mother just grabs me, and she goes, "You don't bother people when they're having dinner." She goes, "You wait out here. When they're done, they come out. If they want to take a picture with you, you can ask them that." Meanwhile, the wrestlers saw this and they actually came out and did it. And I guess I thought that was cool. My mom taught me very young. You show where you respect boundaries.
You got lucky.
There's certain times you just don't do it.
Yeah.
In the toilet, sitting down, having dinner. You don't come up to people and intrude on that space. If they're just walking or they're in a mall or they're just walking around, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that a lot from the BAM podcast.
It looks like you have a lot of fans on here. Do any of them have questions for us that we can answer?
You guys can ask questions. While we're waiting, though, if you guys could give a shout out to Kimberly Smith, who's a really big fan of the movie.
That was her in the comments.
Here's a shout out.
How do I see comments? I'm not seeing them.
Oh, here she is.
There you go.
That was my mom.
I see him now.
Yes, I said hi to Kimberly 25 minutes ago.
Okay.
I have a question. You got present company included. Do you guys keep in touch with each other or anybody else? Off of
We
here
were
that was
just
on
together
there?
this past weekend.
Yeah.
We were just down in Daytona
Us three.
Beach this weekend. Yeah. The three of us talk the most, and then I talk to Peter every so often. Oh yeah. So okay, Kid Code. Yeah, okay, you're a funny guy. Fun movie. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't fun, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of that movie. That's just how I feel. But
Yeah, that
Oscars,
and
I wanted to
Schindler's
be that
List.
guy.
That and Schindler's List, perfect for Oscar material.
Yes.
Neck and neck. Yeah.
To me personally, it's Godfather, Citizen Kane, Kid Cudi. That's
right.
Right. Prince, go ahead, man. Ask away.
Man, it was my favorite movie. It was my mom's favorite movie, man. I'm just here for the stories, man. Hey, I do got a question though. Zach, do you still have the hat?
I have a different one. The original hat is actually in the museum. I have a different one that was given to me by a friend out of recycled antique fur. It's awesome. But yeah, I do have a hat.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What museum is all this stuff in? The house? The Christmas Story house?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Now that's the question.
Wait, as long as we've mentioned the Christmas Story house, I would like Zach to take over and tell everybody what you're doing this weekend.
Well, everybody, this Saturday, December 11th, I will be at the Christmas Story house signing autographs, taking photos to raise money for Alzheimer's research. My father, his name is Todd Ward. He is 75 years old on Wednesday. He has dementia, Alzheimer's, and he's in the 4th stage. Literally, my sister called me before this and told me for the first time he doesn't recognize who she is. For those of you out there in the world who know anything about Alzheimer's, I apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry for the pain you're going through because it sucks. For those of you out there who have no relationship to it, well, then don't worry about Alzheimer's. Come on down to the Christmas Story house, say hi, give me a hug, high five, have a smile. So come on down this Saturday, December 11th, Christmas Story house in Cleveland, Ohio, between 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I will be there. Hugs are free. So are photos. So drop on by. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.
We're gonna
See, Brian, I got Zach to publicize the house. Okay.
So I want to get to Mike next, and then we're gonna get to some from the crowd here. But we're trying to go around the mulberry. There's so many people have questions. But Yano, I wanted you to tell these guys real quick. You guys have done something really cool that I joined up with about a year ago on Facebook on the group with a Christmas Story family. And you guys have like so much cool shit that's available for people if they can't go and meet you in person. And it's just really like a treasure trove of really cool Christmas Story stuff that I think fans of the movie would dig. Can you tell us a little about that and how people can find out about it?
Sure, man. So I'll just give you a quick synopsis and how this actually came to fruition was I was a gym owner for a long time, and being a solo business partner by yourself running a gym, being every hat that you have running a business, you eventually realize that you need to hire coaches to help you build your business if you want to scale it. So I found a marketing coach, and my marketing coach literally helped me 10x my business in like 3 months. And in that time, about in the 3.5 month, 4th month later, he gives me a call and he says, Yano, is it true? And I'm like, what do you mean, is it true? He said, are you Grover Dill from A Christmas Story? Like, why the fuck have you not told me this? I'm the biggest fan on the planet, right? And he freaks out because just like everybody, it's been in his life his entire life. He absolutely loves the movie. He had no idea that he was doing business with Grover Dill.
That's
not something that I just tell everybody. So
Sure.
he had the brilliant idea of being able to create a platform where any fan around the world can actually join a group where you are the closest that you will ever get to the cast in a group. And so what we've done is we built this group. Like our first year, we had 300 members. Second year, we had 8,000. Third year, now we're at 20, right? So we're growing very rapidly as we get closer to the end of each year, of course, for the holidays. And having a business partner who is a marketing genius with technology and understanding markets, he's able to create things for the fans that we never thought was literally possible outside of, you know, what the major corporations are doing with all the figurines and all the other, you know, merch that's available out there. We decided to do something that is literally inspired by the cast. And we have a graphic design artist who is a huge fan, who is making all of the graphics for everything. And his brilliance, because he's worked with Disney, he's worked with Marvel, he just has that Christmas Story flavor because it's his love. And so we try to figure out what the hell we were going to name this thing because we don't want to get noticed just yet. So we decided to call it A Christmas Story Family because for legal reasons, right? We had to create something that resonated with everybody. And
God forbid you guys make $1 on the movie.
Right?
What's that?
So God forbid you guys make $1 on the movie.
Well, you know, we do make a couple $100. Some make more than others. We still have merchandising rights, so every now and then we might get a little bigger check, around $300 to $500 if we're lucky from merchandise. You know what I mean? Zach has a very different contract than all of us because he's from Canada. So they have to have his permission to use his likeness. Anyway, so yeah,
that's not true. I have a Scott Farkas action figure.
Right. So we're even us, since we're doing our own thing, trying to build our own brand with the Christmas Story Family, is that we're starting to build our own stuff as well, right? Because we got a lot of stuff down in the pipeline. So all of the purchases from the website that we have at ChristmasStoryGift.com literally is to help the cast also have another stream of income that normally we wouldn't have if we're not going to an event, right? So at least we have an avenue to make more stream from A Christmas Story year round. And so our ultimate goal, right, is to build this fan base into the millions, right? Because you remember how compounding happens.
Sure.
Is that we're in our 3rd year, we've got 20,000. I expect by our 4th year, we'll have 100. And then by our 5th year, we'll have at least 500,000 or more.
So the one thing I love is that people can get video shout outs from you guys.
Yes,
Cameo,
absolutely.
but they get it directly here. It says personalized video shout outs. There's autographs you can get from the cast, because a lot of times, you know, they may not be coming to your area for a meet and greet, but you can get a video shout out personalized to you. You can get an autograph personalized to you. And I know you guys do a lot of really cool deals on autographs too, to make them affordable. And I bought several.
Thank you.
You had those.
So thank you. Yeah, because that's putting money in their pocket for otherwise we wouldn't get from the movie, right? And then the other thing is that
I'm not good at the video one. Don't make me do video ones. Just order autographs of me.
You could just get a Mr. Potato Head. It sticks in glass.
So what I want you guys to know is that, you know, all the monies that this Christmas Story Family makes, we actually put it back into the fans. For example, the 2021 annual contest, if you guys don't know about this, it's a super easy way to get involved into a contest. You can win all kinds of free stuff as you build your points by doing stuff to help us grow, right? And so like the main grand prize winner, I will announce Christmas Day, and that grand prize winner is actually going to get a trip for 2, paid in full, backstage passes, VIP, all kinds of swag to our next event, wherever that may be. And we've already got events lined up for not only next year, but for the 40th anniversary, right? So the 40th anniversary is just in 2 years. So we've got a lot of giveaways that we actually give back to the fans. And
we do a lot of trivia stuff, and Yano does most all that.
Well, I want to thank Yano for making me feel really old right now. The 40th anniversary is coming up. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, pal.
Hey, you're welcome, brother. Love you.
So, Hollandcheck, go ahead, man.
Wait, there was a question about Gene Shepard.
Oh, yeah. Somebody in the crowd.
Gene Shepard basically wanted to talk to Peter. There it is. Mark had asked that. He really didn't bother any of the rest of us, but he just wanted to talk to Peter. And it was driving Bob Clark crazy because he wanted, you know, Gene to stay away from Peter, let him do the performance as he's doing it. And what Bob loved in the performance. And Gene would come over and start talking to Peter, and literally Bob would like yank him away. And I know he banned him once from the set for like 1 day. He's like, "You're not coming to the set tomorrow." You know, it was like a punishment. You know, so it was quite amusing, but really, we did not get to spend a lot of time around him.
Yeah, so just real quick, again, what's the website, Yano?
So the website is achristmasstoryfamily.com. The website for the gift shop is achristmasstorygift.com. So if you go to achristmasstoryfamily.com, you can register for the annual giveaway. There's all kinds of stuff there. Like we give you a free digital gift basket. Like we've created ringtones. We've got like, you know, digital welcome cards for Christmas. I mean, we give all that stuff away.
And Scott,
and we give it away. All you got to do is just get it.
Scott actually sent me an autographed pair of his underwear too. I didn't ask for them, but he just.
I hope they were clean. They were not.
They were not.
It's Carmine.
I was I was very
He's
concerned.
into that. He's
I
into
thought
that
he was
stuff.
being held for ransom.
Excellent point, Scott.
He's sniffing wrestlers' tights for 25 years that haven't been washed.
Very true.
His point.
Damn.
Mike, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Foul.
I was going to say, first of all, Carmine will take anybody's underwear, whether it's signed, unsigned, clean, not. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
mine.
The missing link. He'll take anything. He doesn't care.
He will. He will. But
Exactly.
my question is actually for Zach. During this scene when Peter Billingsley has you on the ground and he's getting his comeuppance on the bully, did he pull every punch, or did he get a few of them in there? Because he looked like he was really wailing away on you in that scene.
He never hit me. He was a pure professional, but he had idiot strings connected to his mittens. So he had leather mittens that got wet from the snow and then got hard from the cold. And so it was like he was slapping me in the face the whole time with pork chops. So if you look close, you can see bright red cheeks.
Was that real snow?
Yeah, some of it. Most of it was.
Oh, shit.
That scene, it was real snow.
That was shot in Toronto.
Yeah. That's why I was saying 20
The
below.
flagpole is real
cold.
snow, but like the beginning with Ralphie and me and RD in front of the house, or Schwartz in front of his house, when Randy, the little brother, falls down in the snowsuit, that's actually fake snow. That was Cleveland, and they had no snow that year.
Dude, now, can I tell you something real quick before I get to Eddie? I fucking hate it, Randy. I fucking hated that little whiny bastard. I wanted him to leave. I wanted Peter to leave him in the snow and just keep fucking walking. I couldn't stand that little shit. And when he put his face in the mashed potatoes, I'm like, I wanted to drown him in the potatoes.
Do you have any siblings anymore?
I'm the baby. I'm the baby.
Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it?
Jealous of Randy.
Everybody's
He was
bullying
Randy.
me today. Everybody's Scott Farkas on me today. This is
It's good. We like this. We're enjoying this.
Hopefully you've been snipped and you won't be breeding any children.
I may have children out there, man, but if I do, I don't know.
I don't know if
Yeah,
they
no,
want
no.
to change it at this point.
Am I right here? Does anybody else feel this way about Randy? He was a whiny little fucking bitch.
That's just the character.
He was a
Just the
5-year-old
character.
brother.
I know my mom. I think my mom asked this question in the comments, but you guys ever think about going back and doing a older version with kids?
I
and
had actually
stuff like
talked to
that?
Bob. I talked to Bob about it, and we kind of
Bob,
started
that's
just
great.
beginnings of talking about it. And he even talked to Peter about it because they spoke all the time. And Peter was like, "Not really, but if you do it, well, let's talk about it." Okay. It was a few months later when Bob left us unexpectedly, so that was kind of the end of
He
that.
died. He was killed in a car accident. Yeah.
So there's no chance then.
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Because that would
Great.
fucking be awesome.
Yes.
Well, they've tried it so many times, dude. They've
There is a
tried it
sequel.
So many times, and it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. And even the Christmas Story musical, I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Hated it.
Scotty, Yada, were you there in Kansas City when they were running?
Yes. When we did the musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome. The musical is
Yeah.
so good. Like, brilliant performance, so funny, so heart-wrenching.
Are we talking about live?
Yeah, we saw it. We
Oh, the one that was live on TV?
No, that was on TV, dude. I'm talking about live in the theater back in
Yeah,
Kansas.
theater.
Okay.
And then it traveled and went to Broadway. But
Yeah.
that was brilliant. And then they tried to adapt that to television, and it was fucking horrible. Like, it literally
failed.
opened up with a Kelly Clarkson song, Katy Perry type song. You're like, what in the fuck is this? Like, that's like opening up Citizen Kane with, I don't know, something from the Bangles. It's just ridiculous. It was just insulting, and it's like they keep on walking this line where they want to capture the essence of A Christmas Story, but they don't have the balls to commit to the world that it took place in, and they don't want to offend fucking idiot double-digit people at home, so they want them to sit down with their kids. But look at Christmas Story. I beat that kid's ass. Then he beat my ass, and then bad things happened, but he survived, and they came together as a family. It's Homer's The Iliad, but for children.
So I don't want to get you guys in trouble, so I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when people come to this country from another country, they have an accent. And sometimes they open a restaurant. And it's not
you did the
offensive.
Chinese restaurant thing?
It's not fucking offensive to anybody for somebody to have a fucking accent.
Look, look,
It's the best scene in the movie, and they killed it.
Let's not waste our time going down this hole because the pendulum is obviously spinning back to the point that we've realized people who want to be entitled to be offended over everything can go ahead and do that. And I just don't care. I will watch.
I love you.
Things that I want to do and I think are good pieces of art. And everybody else can change the channel if they don't like it, and that's fine. But I'm not going to listen to.
Amen.
What was the original comment? Because I got. What was the original comment? I got kicked off.
About how like when they did it for the live thing for TV, how they fucking sanitized it. It sucked.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It's like when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing nobody.
Also,
exactly.
Christmas Story is a classic. That's why we have an ice cream. Oh, you can't see it. There's a new ice cream. There's a new ice cream cone, ice cream flavor. See that?
Shut up!
Really?
Who made that? Who made that?
I definitely want some of that.
But here's the great thing:
I
it's
must
got
have that.
lots of tiny
Yes.
little pieces of cinnamon in there, and it's called Farkas freckles. Really? No, that would be horrible. That's disgusting.
No, that's who makes that. Who makes that?
I don't know. Google it.
I gotta have that.
Serendipity is a place in New York City.
Because the other thing is too, you watch a Christmas Story live, right? And like, I think Flick is a black kid, right? In the live version, and it's like that's great. I love representation, but in the 1940s, this would not have happened. It could not have happened.
I got to be honest. I don't really care about Flick being black. I don't agree with you. In the original film, there is black cast members, so
there is.
But let me finish. But the fact that they made Scott Farkus so fucking pretty, like that kid looks like one of the. He looks like the guy who plays Thor. Like he was gorgeous. He was a cover model on a Sears magazine or something. Like Boy of the Month for Nambla. I don't know. But it's like,
my God.
You know, the thing about Scott Farkus is he was an ugly kid with braces and a fucked up face, and then he got the shit kicked out of him. And you go, yeah. But no, they went with this little mannequin child who's very handsome and can sing and all this stuff. I'm like, no. Make him real, dude. Make him real.
Right.
So
the Nambla thing that got you.
Yes.
That's over the edge. I mean, it's just good writing.
I just, I'm real big on things being true to the time period, you know. And actually, it was one of the things that actually stuck out to me when I watched the Christmas Story was they have an integrated class, which is the 1940s. You know, that would be a weird thing, but I mean, it's a good thing. It's just it's not real. Like it wouldn't have really happened, I don't think, unless there was places like that in the 40s, which would be great. But I don't think it was. Was
draws
it
attention to
world
itself pointlessly. Like I'll be honest with you, like I'm a redhead. Less than 2% of the world population looked like me. If I saw a fucking movie that had every other person had red hair and green eyes, I'd be like, is this a family reunion? That would just be weird. You know, if everybody looked like Scotty and they were a 4 foot tall, fat Jewish midget, I would find that strange. If everybody in the movie looked like a Hebrew elf, that would just be odd to me. Okay.
Whoa.
That would just be, and there'd have to be a reason for it. So,
have you considered going into comedy?
Start. Google my fucking career, you hillbilly.
I'm from New Jersey. There's no hillbillies in
Do
New
your
Jersey.
research, son.
Oh.
Damn.
I meant stand up.
Yeah.
That's fucking Hebrew elf.
Come on, that was good. That was good. That was a nice little bully rant right there.
At my expense, thank you.
Yano, high
Yo.
five me on that one.
High
That
five,
was
baby.
good.
High five. Get
Fucking
that,
Hebrew elf.
get that midget.
Eddie, bring us back.
I've always wondered this. You guys being for two questions here. One, how old were you guys during this? And two, you guys, I know you were in Toronto, you were in Cleveland. At that age, who was clicking up? Who was friends? And what'd you guys do to waste the time? I mean, because obviously it's snowing, it's not the best weather.
We stayed away. We were told to stay away from each other, so the bullies stayed away from us. And I was 3 months from 15. I was the oldest.
He was a walking hard on. That guy at 15, at 3.5 feet tall, hit on every woman. He would walk up to like 30-year-old beautiful women who worked on the set and be like, "So how you doing today?" Like it was ridiculous. He was a god.
That
He was
sounds
a
like him.
golden little guy.
Now there's praise coming. I like this part of it better than the midget shit. Thank you.
No, he was my hero. He was a legend. A legend.
Because I saw some pictures from the toy with you with older women like hanging out, and
Yeah.
you showed me, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Thank you.
And then you had a second question, Eddie?
No, that was it. Just their age. How old were they
So
during the time of the?
I was 10, and like they said, they kept us apart. So me and Zach clicked. Like when we met each other at Wardrobe, we just clicked. We hung out. Our moms hung out. Like we just kind of clicked. So it was me and Zach all the way every day.
And so you guys didn't. How old were you, Zach?
13.
And Scott, you were 47, right?
I was almost 15.
and still 4 foot tall. So
I was always short. Listen, I had no chance. My mom was 4'8.5", 4'9". My dad's 5'4". I wasn't playing in the NBA, so I'm fucked. It was what it was.
So when did you guys because if you didn't hang out during the movie, when did you guys all? Because obviously you're close now. What happened?
I moved to California in '87, and a little time after I moved out here, Zach was doing a TV show, and I happened to look at a Sunday newspaper, and the photo of the cast was in the newspaper. So I called the production office in California. He was shooting in Toronto. I called up there, and he was in the production office, and he and I talked, and he was down here a couple of months after that. And then Yana we found a couple of years later.
Oh wow, that's so fucking wild.
Yeah.
So when did the reunion start? Like the tours of you guys doing all these appearances?
After that, somewhere after that.
After the 20th. After the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think one question I think I have is a lot of times when you get older, and especially you, Zach, have had you've done a lot of stuff after. Does it bother you to at all to be still associated with the film? Some people hate that that one iconic thing that they did that just, defines them. Does it bother you guys ever to be associated with it or have to talk about it?
No, I feel honored to be part of something that has so much resonance. I've had a very interesting career, very varied, incredibly varied in the range of roles that I've played and the types of films, size of films, budgets of films that I've done. But I'm not Brad Pitt. I'm not a celebrity. I'm a working actor, and I've had the opportunity to make my living in my life through that process and then become a filmmaker. I feel like it's awesome. At the end of Christmas, I don't want to talk about it anymore because I have other things I'm doing in my life. Like I would assume that the guy who was the high school quarterback who won the winningest touchdown at a certain point doesn't want to talk about that shit either, Right. But you do feel blessed and lucky that you got to be part of something because we were all kids. We didn't write it, direct it, edit it, produce it, distribute it. And yet here we are 39 years later, 38 years later.
38.
Oh, I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful for all that it's given me and the life that I've had because of this experience. It is very rare air. And I get to share it with my brothers, which is
a lot of people really started to become obsessed with it, and it became a big part of their lives after the marathon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But for me, I'm going back at least a decade before that when it became a big part of my life, and I would watch it every year, way before the marathon ever started.
Yeah, me too.
Well, there were people that watched on VHS. That's what it was. It was on.
Yep. It was on local TV here. It was on local TV here.
Channel 11, Carm, right? Channel 11.
Channel 11. We would watch it. Yeah.
New Jersey. We're from Jersey. So.
WPIX. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would watch it every year, and it was always just so special to us. It's not. I mean, it's so weird, right? Because as Zach is saying, it brought so much joy to so many people, and every year brings joy to new generations and more people. And to me, in my house, it's not Christmas until we see this movie. It's not Christmas season until this movie plays.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And so, I mean, obviously, thank you guys so much for doing it, and for being so fucking great in the roles, man. I mean, as kids, you guys nailed those fucking roles, bro.
Yeah.
It's Bob Clark. That's exactly right. I mean, we could all take credit. Oh, we were the greatest, and no, it had a lot to do with Bob. knowing exactly what characters he wanted and pick kids that could do the exact characters he wanted.
Exactly.
And Gene Shepard's dialogue, just so fucking good.
Yes.
Like, okay, I love the, say uncle. The one that didn't age very well was, listen, jerk, when I tell you to come, you better come. It's like, I've had people ask me to write that on their autograph, and I'm like, no, I'm good. We'll go with something else, shall we? But,
Scott said the same thing to me at my house, and it was very scary.
Just that's the thing, is it's such a rare opportunity for all those things to come together and be done so
Right.
well. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
You know what? And that's another part of the movie you've now killed for me. I never thought of that before till right now, but now I'll always hear that in my mind when I see that. But that's the say uncle thing was so great. And then, I mean, it sounded like you guys are really crying, like, uncle.
That's acting.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Now, of course, Zach took it easy on me, but the kid that played Schwartz, Zach was not a big fan. So when it was time to wrench his arm, oh, he got an ass whooping.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was on the schoolyard.
Strong style. Strong
No,
style.
I think that was it was on the that was on the schoolyard.
It was on the
He'd
schoolyard.
done that thing. RD had done that thing. Remember when they take the teeth from him, and he puts the teeth in Miss Shields' hands, and he turns and looks right into the camera, like, and I fucking hated that he did that. Like, I just wanted to kick his ass for that. Like, there was something about it that was so arrogant and just rude towards the rest of the work ethic that went on. And so when I would crank his arm and he would be like, Uncle, I was like, that sucks, dude. Here comes the real shit, you little kid.
Show me more.
You're like, there it is, motherfucker. That's how we do.
Oh my God!
Break that wall again.
Go ahead, Mike.
I actually have a question for Yano. Gonna go a little bit off topic here. I'd like to discuss just a question I had about a movie called Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
I heard this is true. I heard it's not, so I figured come right to the source. And if it is true, I have a little bit of a follow-up question. Is it true that you re-recorded all of the main Paperboy's lines?
That is
and
true.
if so, why? Like, why did they do that?
I have no idea. So when I was on set, I remember I got a very small part. I've got one line, actually two, three. Where's my $2? Right. So one line, that's what I saw. That's what I said in the movie. Most people mistaken me for the main bully. I'm not the main bully. His name is Damon something. I can't remember his last name. But I got a call like literally 2.5 months after and said, we want you to do a voiceover. I'm like, I'm not saying no to money. Where do I go? So went down to Hollywood and went to this beautiful friggin' studio and realized now that I'm reading the line, all of the lines that the Paperboy had, they wanted me to do his voiceover because they didn't like his voice. Somebody somewhere it heard my voice and was like, we want him to do his voiceover. So I did all of his voiceover, which was a great experience. Like, voiceover is fun. It's fun to do.
I always thought that'd be really hard to do.
No, it's
because you're not seeing somebody there and you have to react.
No. You see it. They got a big ass screen, so you're watching the movie.
Oh, okay.
And you're saying the words into a mic in a separate sound booth as you're watching the movie. So you do your best to try to match it up to what they're saying.
You actually see what you're doing. Okay, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Have all you guys done voiceover work or just you?
Oh yeah, yeah, lots of it.
Oh yeah.
And do you guys find it challenging or do you find it fun as well?
I love it.
Easy.
I did Tomb Raider, the first video game, and Army of Two, the Devil's Cartel. In Tomb Raider, I was the bad guy, the big bad guy, and then in Army of Two, I was the lead guy, Alpha. So I've done a whole bunch of voiceover work. It's a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
I do 7-Elevens, you know. How are you doing? You like, oh, you want a Slurpee? No problem. Yeah, I do that.
Hi, my name is Frick. I am Scott Schwartz. I played Frick in the movie A Christmas Story.
See, but you say that, but you have to tell them why that's funny.
So in Indiana, at the visitor center, we went there for actually twice. We've been there. What was his name? Shapiro, right? Shapiro is the dude that brought us out. So they decided to build a statue out front. It's literally a bronze statue of Flick with his tongue stuck to a real flagpole that actually has a flag, and you can walk up to it and press a button, and the button has his voiceover that he did.
Oh, cool!
As people walk towards his statue, that it's like recreating it. So it's so
that's
fun.
fucking hilarious.
I was Flick in the movie A Christmas Story. Blah 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 whatever. So by the time that Zach and myself and Jan are outside, and this little kid is pushing the button for the 30th time, Zach is literally ready to tear his head off. He's like, I never want to hear this ever again in my life. Just don't ever want to hear it again. So, of course, later on that day, I was outside. I went to have a cigarette, whatever. And Zach's inside. Okay, fine. And I called him on the phone. He's like, what's up? And I pushed the button out. I'm standing outside. I pushed the button. Hi, this is Scott Schwartz. I'm flicking. I think I left it on your message once also, I think.
Yeah, you're a cruel, cruel man.
Now, one of the best roles you ever played, Scott, of course, was the head elf in the Keebler Tree, which I thought you were fantastic in.
Night, Melissa. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I'm the head elf. All of you people will pay for this.
Of course, and we're not going to get into it, but we've often wondered how they could bake in that tree and the tree not burn down. Eddie, go ahead. You have any? You got another question?
Well, actually, just talking about the voiceovers, I was thinking, I'm guessing it's not the same process as getting like a total role. I mean, not just the voiceover. How do you come across this? They come to you and they'll be like, I want the person from the Christmas Story, that bully. I want to use his voice. Or how do you get roles like that?
You audition for him?
Yeah, it's like
same way.
You still got to audition for him. Yeah, it's like you have to immerse yourself into that industry. I mean, it takes a lot. If you haven't been wrapped up in it a long time already, right? It's the circles of people that you'll know. It's like you can't just decide one day and say, I want to do voiceover work and I want to go to Hollywood and I want to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, if it depends on your perseverance and the people that you know is whether you're going to do voiceovers. Otherwise, when you've got people that are immersed in the business for such a long period of time, that you meet a lot of people in a lot of different circles in the industry. And then when like Zach Ward, if he's producing and writing and doing his own films, then it's a lot of the time he knows the right people. Like he got invited to do a voiceover for fucking Game. You know what I mean? That's like rare to do. I bet that was like super fun to do. You know what I mean? So, and then you get to play with your voice. Like Zach is so super talented at changing what he sounds like. Like he's practiced a lot, even with dialects. You know what I mean? So.
Now, follow up to that. Has there ever been talks of like a Christmas Story, like an animation?
I was just thinking that.
No, that would be cool though.
Yeah, so me and my graphic design artist have been talking about that for about a year and a half already, because that's what he used to do, is animations for Disney.
Right.
Because I got to tell you, I think Netflix will pick that shit up.
Actually, what we're trying to recreate is an animation comic book geared towards children that will teach all of the essential little experiences that Christmas Story actually has. You know what I mean? And try to make a longer series out of that. So that's something that we've been talking about. We've whiteboarded it, but that's a long process.
I think if you think about it, man, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the new He-Man stuff on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't watched it, but all the reviews, just got slammed.
It's rough.
Wokeness.
Yeah.
The wokeness.
I haven't seen it yet. I got to see it.
I haven't seen part 2 yet because the wokeness from part 1, I wanted to strangle the screen.
Perfect verbiage.
Yeah, no, it's.
I didn't even know there was a new He-Man.
Oh, then you need to.
Actually, if you want to see a great anime, a new series on Netflix, there's one called Arcane. And dude, it is sick. It is legitimately an amazing animation. Brilliant. It's based on a video game, League of Legends, which I don't play. So I watched the show. I went to go play the game. I was like, oh, fuck this. I hate this garbage. But the show.
Thank you, Eddie.
Oh, my God. It's so good.
So, Zach, I have a feeling Zach and I would agree on a lot of things. I sent you a friend request on Facebook, Zach, but I I make my living, my real living, like I said, dealing with political stuff and in that sphere and interviewing, politicians and whatnot. And that's my world. I fucking hate wokeness. They kind of did that to He-Man, and I want to see part 2 just to see if they killed that a little bit. But my point with that was, I think if there was a Christmas Story animated thing, I think Netflix would pick that shit up in a second, bro. In a second.
I mean, it's a lot more machinery. It's like saying, "Hey, couldn't we make a new car?" And you're like, "We could," but it's a long way between here and there. So you can sit around, smoke some weed, and talk out your ass about it, or move on with your life.
Right.
I think for us as fans, we're just like, can we get something else? Can we get something more? Can we,
Well, for enough money, I'll do a puppet show where I'm like, "Hey, I'm a bullet. Hey, watch out! Oh, I'm gonna chase you."
Please send PayPal payment to.
Do you guys have any more questions? I gotta call my dad. So
no, and you guys have actually been here for an hour, so we're gonna let you go. But I want to thank you guys so much again.
Yeah,
it's been tremendous.
For us. Sure, man. Yeah,
definitely a huge show, guys.
Happy birthday to your dad as well.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah,
very kind of you.
What are you gonna do the rest of the show now?
We're gonna talk about wrestling.
All right, I'll hang out with you.
Scott will hang out with you. So, Yano,
Zach, love you. Tell Pop I said hey.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys.
Nice meeting all of you. I'm gonna have this awkward moment where I figure out how to leave the studio, and then
I can kick
the bottom. It says leave studio.
And Merry Christmas.
God bless you, man.
Take care, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
All right, man.
And Yano, before I let you go, just real quick, one more time with the 2 website addresses, please.
So first, you can find us at A Christmas Story Family in Facebook, right? So you can join the group there. You just type it in, Christmas Story Family, like the page. It'll take you right to the group afterwards. And then the gift shop is ChristmasStoryGift.com. The annual giveaway is ChristmasStoryFamily.com. Once you get into the group, we give you that digital free gift basket, and then there's just a whole lot of other fun stuff that you guys can get involved with. Like
you guys don't sell the leg lamp there, do you?
No, we don't have the rights to do that just yet.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. That's a weird thing.
But you guys can absolutely get all your autographs there. And
autographs, videos. You can get. I mean, there's just a lot of merch that we have.
Red Riders, mini
Red Rider BB guns signed by Peter. You know what I mean? So
I actually have one signed by Peter and Scott. Yeah, and I put it on display for Christmas. So
I just seen that BB gun in the store somewhere.
Probably Walmart.
Yeah, probably where it was.
Not signed, but they got them.
Much cooler if it's signed, though.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. That's for sure.
All right. Yano, thank you for being here, man.
God bless, man, for sure. Thanks for bringing me. It was fun. Absolutely. Anytime, all right?
Absolutely. I'd love to have you back.
Yeah, I love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, brother.
Love you too, man. Bye, guys.
And see you later, doggy.
Hey, Carm. Question, man. Why didn't you tell us you were in Hook?
Hold on. Let's see this.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to brag.
Actor too. He's very shy about his acting.
So I can take this hat off now. We're done with the Christmas Story portion of our show.
Yeah, but it just shows how much Christmas spirit you really have, you son of a bitch.
I love Christmas.
In fact,
I have to get my Christmas Story action figures out, and Scott, you'll be front and center, stuck to the pole as usual.
Okay. Before we go on anything else, I did have just one last question for Scott.
For Zach, he's gone. You're fucked.
Dude, he's fucking hilarious.
I was just curious though about like the set itself, like the filming. Was it a very tight run ship, or was there any room for improvisation on the set at all?
Oh, with Peter, not a whole hell of a lot because of the dialogue, the way it was written. Probably not much with Randy, his mom, and his dad. Whereas I had an enormous amount of leeway because there's really nothing written for me. It was just literally there's like 16 lines that were written, and they were okay. It was like, all right, whatever. But Bob cast me because I was in the toy, and he knew I could do improv. And so, I mean, flick on the pole, it just says flick sticks tongue to pole. That's not dialogue. That's just direction. And there's nothing there. And I said, what do you want me to do? He's like, do whatever you want. If I hate it, I'll tell you. Okay. So I mean, all that stuff you see, the don't leave me, come back, stuck.
That's all top of your head.
That was just all shit that came off the top of my head. And he's like, good. And I did it a couple times. And he's like, you know what? Give me more. Just let it go. Don't hold back. Just okay, fine. So I just blasted away. He's like, no, you did it right the first time. Do it your way. Your way works. Okay. And the way I did it is what you see on camera.
That's fucking awesome.
Good direction, yeah.
Now, for me, for one of my, for me, one of my favorite movies is The Toy, and you got. I mean, we talked about this a million times, but for the fans here that haven't heard it, you got to work with Gleason and Pryor and Richard Pryor's birthday. I mean, he rest in peace, just passed. But that had to be, I mean, at a young age to work with those two giants had to be fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were talking about the political correctness thing.
Yeah,
and I was at a convention in New Jersey a little over a month ago. Excuse me, and a guy comes up to me. He's a black guy. And he says, I saw The Toy again recently for the first time in many, many years. And I really had a problem with the underlining thing that was going on. I said, what in the fuck are you talking about? What is this underlining thing? Well, a rich white guy buying a black man. I said, if that's really what you think the movie is about, you're a schmuck. I said, you have to get from A to B. The A part is that how they get you into it is with what happens, but it's the development of the relationship between two strangers who have nothing in common, and the fact that all the kid wants is love from his father. So he's using this to try and get it, and the father's not getting it until it's explained to him by Richard. I mean, the payoff, of course, is the end. Dad, I love you, and he says, "I love you," and all that.
Yeah.
The underlining things, I just looked at you out of your fucking mind. Just insanity.
But people, I think, like Zach was saying before, people want to be offended nowadays. It's like, what can offend me? Now, you may know the answer to this question. Somebody asked before, and I didn't get a chance to ask Yano and Zach. That part, where they punch each other in the arms. Was that a shoot?
No, they were told to do that.
Okay, because somebody said it was they thought it was a shoot because they had read that.
Yes, Ruthie, Peter's eyes are that blue in person. Yes. And Peter was an elf. Yes, he did that as a favor to not John Favreau, to the star of Elf. Hello?
Oh, who's that guy's
Will
name?
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, thank you. It was a favor to Will Ferrell that Peter did it because he really didn't want to do it because it was another Christmas movie, but apparently Will picked up the phone and said, "Oh, come on, you got to do it for me. Do it as a favor, this and that." And Peter said, "Okay, I'll do it for you as a favor, and you owe me one." And he said, "Sure." So he doesn't even have any credit in the film. He just kind of went over there, and I think they did it in like 1 or 2 days, and no pay, no credit, no nothing. I'm actually going to take you on a little walk here for a minute.
Let's go. Is that I hear Miss Elizabeth?
Yes, Miss Elizabeth is barking on a couch. Oh, stop. Yeah. Because she hears other voices, and she's like, what the hell is going on? So, there's the baby.
Exactly, Eddie. Where?
Yeah.
Are you going
I
for a
want to show you this because I have it.
Oh, okay.
And I have it right here. So I figure you'd like this because you just mentioned her. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let's zoom in on that.
That's dope.
Miss Elizabeth.
That is dope.
Rest in peace.
And this is the original. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Get off my stomach. What are you doing? That is the original print from Steve Taylor from his office.
Randy is still around, and the guys will talk to you if you go to the A Christmas Story family group on Facebook. Like the guys will talk to you.
I got to say, Carmine, I am Team Randy, and this house is Team Randy. So
no, Randy's an asshole.
Ira loves Randy, so therefore I love Randy.
Randy who? Who are we talking about?
Randy. Not Randy Savage. Randy in Christmas Story.
The brother.
He's a whiny little bitch. No, but a lot of people.
Ian's fine.
In real life, I'm sure he's fine, but Randy was a jerk off.
But that's his character. It's okay.
But I think a lot of people, so people watching don't know this. So Scott was really good friends with Randy Savage and Elizabeth. He did a lot of touring with WWE, was backstage a lot with WWE. In fact, I got a really cool and very rare belt. It's not the foam belt that you see as a kid. It's the Hogan 86 toy belt that I got from Zach, signed
LJN.
by LJN. And who the hell? I mean, that's signed by Undertaker, Goldberg.
Wow.
No, it was Hogan, Flair,
Hogan.
But then you got Bobby Heenan, who's gone, Funk, The Ultimate Warrior, Jimmy Snuka.
Wow,
that's like
Jesse
Brett,
Ventura, which is a rare
Jesse
autograph.
Ventura.
Yeah, it's so many autographs on that son-bitch, and that's on the top of my display case up there. And so I got that from you last year, and I got the Red Ryder BB gun from you last year, signed by you and
And
Peter.
he's still paying it off.
Still paying it off, man. But you know what? I'm almost done.
You're almost there.
That belt was expensive, but worth every fucking penny, bro.
Yeah, not another one exists like it. Forget it.
Not another one exists like it. And I got the PSA. What's it called? PSA certificate.
Mm-hmm.
So,
COA.
What they call it? PSA DNA.
Yeah,
Those
PSA
signatures
DNA.
together
It's
are
a letter of authenticity.
Yeah. And it's just, I'm never going to sell it, so it doesn't matter. It's never, ever going to be for sale. I would be homeless with that belt in the street. I mean, that belt's not going anywhere.
After the first 3 signatures, you said you really didn't need any more, but that was more, cream on the top there. I guess
Undertaker is on that belt as well.
you got Heenan, Warrior, and Flair.
Not on it because he wasn't an LJN figure.
I'm almost sure he signed it. I'll
Did
check.
Did I have him sign it?
I'm almost sure he's on there, bro.
You got Warrior and Heenan on there. That's huge.
The Warrior. I had Hogan, Jimmy Hart, Bobby Heenan, Bret Hart, Beefcake, Flair.
Because you had Goldberg sign it too, and Goldberg wasn't.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
You could be right. Yeah.
I'm almost sure. I'll take a look later, but I'm almost sure Taker's on there. I know Jesse's on there, which is a rare autograph. Hogan.
Amazing
Warrior.
names. Yeah, amazing group of signatures you have there.
I mean, just huge names on there. You go try and get a Warrior autograph on eBay right now by himself. It's like $800.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh wait, here. Hey, you guys keep talking for a second. I'm gonna grab something.
Scott, have you seen 8-Bit Christmas yet?
No.
He has not. I told him about it like 2 days ago.
It's on my list.
Some of you guys can probably attest to this, but Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, if you had their signatures in their prime, they signed a picture. Those things are worth a lot of money because they never signed anything.
I have the wedding
together
invitation.
Well, that's you know what that would go for. I mean that's
you have that signed, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
that's crazy amount, dude. That would be ridiculous amount of money. That's the Stone Cold Steve Austin cooler. There's only 2 of them like it. He got one of them. That's the cooler.
What's cool about the blue one is WWF was nice enough to make the action figure
with the blue
cooler in there.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Wow!
Because it was a blue and a red, right?
Yeah, the red was the first year, and it's the funniest thing when they did the Finding Treasures show on A&E.
Mm-hmm.
They did the Booker T episode, and they're spanning this guy's house in Bridgewater, New Jersey, which is where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Same town, Bridgewater, New Jersey. And on the floor in his living room is the red ice chest.
Oh shit! Wow. It's a blue one, and you're both from Bridgewater. So Bridgewater.
And I've never met the guy.
Both coolers.
I've never met this guy. How I've never met him, I have no idea.
That's funny. Same town.
That's so funny. If you ever get Austin to sign that son bitch.
Oh, I will at some point. Once COVID is over, because he lives here. He lives out here in California. He's got a place, so not that far from me.
Ranch.
Yeah, I'll get my boy the King to make a phone call for me.
Yeah, no, dude, Elizabeth autographs are like almost impossible to find.
That's what I was saying. And you got the wedding invitation. I mean,
yeah, I can't go get it now because it's all the way back in my bedroom. It's on the other side of the house.
But you have shown it on this show before.
Yeah,
you have.
That's amazing.
It's their wedding invitation signed by both of them, and I mean that shit's got to be worth a fortune.
It has to be.
But that's one of the things
you know what?
You would never sell.
I got one thing.
Carmine's want to buy it.
Oh no.
That's one of the things he said he would never sell.
No, the wedding invitation, forget it. You might as well throw it in the grave with me.
Just on a wedding picture alone with Miss Elizabeth Randy Savage on a wedding, you got a wedding invitation with their name on it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the outside, then it has, you've been cordially invited to the whole thing, and then when you flip it open on the inside, they both signed it.
See, and that's kind of like in her prime when they got married. So that's kind of like early WWF.
Hang on, 30 seconds. Keep talking.
No, he's talking about it's the gimmick wedding invitation from SummerSlam.
1991. Yeah.
Oh, still, that's even just as amazing and just as costly. Yeah, I didn't know.
Exactly.
I wasn't sure.
I thought it was a real one too. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you had just like you signed a piece of paper, Miss Elizabeth Randy Savage in the '80s, it would be worth a lot of money. Much less on something that was connected to an angle or, promo or something that they did.
I mean, any kind of signature from those guys, but Elizabeth even more than Savage. Because
definitely.
Her autograph is super rare. I have a Mike Holland check.
So there's a story that goes with what I'm going to show you first.
Okay.
There was a woman who lived in Indiana who was a monstrous Memphis wrestling junkie. Okay. She was single. She never had any kids. She passed away in her home. So they all had open season on the house, come and take a look at, you buy everything in the house. You can't open any boxes. Whatever's in the house, that's what you buy. And the guy bought it. And in there was like a 24 by 20 box of wrestling photos, programs, all this stuff from 78, 79 Memphis Championship Wrestling.
Wow.
There was autograph. There had to be 200 autographs of Jerry Lawler. Some of the funniest pictures I've ever seen of Jerry Lawler from Memphis. Hold on, I'm going to show you the one just so you can laugh. Because it really is very funny. Because it's like, you just never seen him this way.
Right.
And it should be coming up right here somewhere. Yep, here it is. Hang on.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Scott,
Look at that hair.
So there's other stuff
He's
in the
young,
box, okay? Now I'm going to show you this one first. And let's see if you can tell me who this is.
Ruthie says she'll see you on the 19th, Scott.
Yep. Who's that?
Beefcake.
But look what he signed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Ed Boulder. Yeah, Terry
Yeah.
Boulder's brother. Yeah, I remember.
Oh
that.
wow, I didn't know that.
But this
Oh,
is, they were only there like 3 months.
Question is, did Mark Cyrus know that?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course he did.
Jeez,
Terry
terrible.
the Hulk. Yeah, Terry the Hulk Boulder. Yep.
All right, it's not.
There you go. It's a little better. We're getting a little glow, but oh shit, he signed
Probably
it.
gotta turn the screen brightness down a little bit.
You got Eddie Boulder though. That's got to be worth something. I don't think he signed many
There
like
it is.
that.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. And
Yeah,
he
Terry
actually signed
Boulder.
Terry Boulder.
Yeah. Okay.
Now are these yours?
Nobody's ever seen one. PSA won't even authenticate it.
Are these
Nobody's ever
yours?
seen one.
Are these yours?
And then this is mine.
Oh.
Oh wow!
shit.
I remember
Okay.
that old belt too. That's old.
Now look
That's
at
like
the corner.
70s.
It's dated 9/30/80.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
He looks older there than he did when he was in WWF.
Yeah.
Right?
And kind of scarier looking.
Yeah.
Right, that facial expression, man.
Bruiser.
What is that? The
Brody.
IBC belt, IBA, or what? Something like that.
So, let me see. Actually, it's funny because on the back, it's got the old September. Look, it's 1979.
Oh shit, that's the original fucking photo?
No, it's the original photo.
Wow.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh no, it is 79. I'm reading it as 80, but my glasses are fucked up. 9/30. Oh, maybe it is 80 that he signed it.
Because of all the wrestlers, you were
No,
the
79.
Of all the wrestlers you talked to, you were the closest to Savage and Elizabeth, right?
Yeah. You know what? Because of the lighting on it, it's so bright. I don't even think you can see.
Randy's
can't
definitely
see.
one of the best ever. Yeah, that's one of the oldest first belts he ever had.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was like IBC or IBA or
That's his
something like
dad's-
that.
That's his dad's promotion.
Yeah.
How many people in the hobby have that belt made?
No, I've seen a few though. There's a few that do have it.
Really?
I actually have it. I have a couple of the programs that have Lanny signed it, Randy signed it, and Angelo signed it.
We got to get Scott one of those belts made that he just showed.
Oh my God. Yeah. So.
That's oh shit.
IWA, yeah, that's what I thought. IWA title.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Is that what that is? IWA?
Yeah, that's very. I've seen like 2 people have it ever. But I think it was Savage's first belt that he won. I could be wrong, but
No, I think you're right.
That was good times. We don't get to talk a lot during a December, Scott.
No, listen, you picked the right night. I got to do a thing with Yano tomorrow for Christmas Story Family.
Okay.
And I hate this because it's like you're looking up at me. It's kind of stupid. But
as of December 26th, you can.
Nope, not necessarily. Believe it or not, I may actually be going to Wisconsin. They're doing a charity fundraiser for the families of that were hit in the accident, that were run over by that guy.
Oh, jeez.
So I may be going to that.
That wasn't an accident.
Well, we know it wasn't an accident. You know.
It was an act of terrorism, but.
No, but you can't call it terrorism either. The guy's just an asshole. You know,
Well, no, his reasons, according to his Facebook page, his reasons were political, which makes it actually an act of terrorism legally.
Yeah, he's still an asshole.
Because they called the kid in the school terrorism, and that was not legal terrorism. But by that state's law, it was terrorism. But
now, Mom is calling. Now, I told her I was on the podcast, right? Yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
Aw. Put her on. Have her talk to us.
Yeah, hold on. Carmine, this is my mom, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Hello.
You're live on the air.
You're live on the air, Ma.
Oh, thank you very much for that one. I will talk to you later, honey. Bye.
That's the poor woman that had to drive him to audition.
No. My mom worked. She was managing a 7-Eleven, and her second job, she worked for Prudential Beach in their bookkeeping department. And so it was either my dad, because he had his own window cleaning business, and he was done work most days by 2:00 because he started at 5:30, or we had hired another guy, a friend of my dad's, to drive me in. Very few times Mom drove me in.
What, we've talked about this before, but what actually made you want to be an actor?
It wasn't something I was looking to do. It just happened. I was going to a movie club with my dad. We watched old movies. One of the guys that was in the club was producing a commercial and said, "Hey, you're very outgoing. I think you'd be great at this, blah, 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 whatever. You want to do it, okay." And, it was a tough sell. It was a Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink commercial with Yogi Berra in Miami Beach.
Wow. You met Yogi Berra?
I met 3 days. We did the first commercial. And then on the plane ride back, he's like, "You're really good. You should keep doing this." Okay. So he introduced us to a casting director and then 2 agents, and I signed with one of them, and it just kind of happened. It wasn't something that I was, trying to do. It just happened.
Which is interesting because Mike actually met Yogi Bear. Completely different.
Hey, boo boo.
Listen, they didn't have the "Don't Feed the Wildlife" signs up yet, so I just
Exactly.
figured it was a natural thing. Yeah,
Why not? Give him a slice of pizza, whatever.
Yeah.
But so, a lot of the people that are watching right now, obviously, they're wrestling fans. Tell us a little bit about your experiences traveling around with WWE, man. WWF at the time.
Oh, I was WWF boy, I started out, I met Big John Studd. He brought me to an event. Then I met some of the guys. They're like, "Oh, if you want to come and hang out, come down to the Spectrum." I was in New Jersey, so it was either Spectrum or the Meadowlands was where I went, and sometimes Long Island a couple times. And the next thing you know, I was out and about, and I was going everywhere. Once, I was driving, it was you just go. Somebody was down to Richmond, Virginia, DC at the Cap Center, Chicago, Boston. I drove to the Boston Garden several times. It was 15 months, and You're picking guys up from the airport, you take them to the hotel, then you go into the arena, fiddling with the ring or whatever they wanted me to do. You go.
I remember
back
seeing
to
a picture of
the
you putting up the cage.
Yeah.
Helping
Yeah.
put up the blue steel cage.
Yeah.
And there's another picture of you. I remember. I'm thinking off the top of my head, but the picture of you.
I missed that cage.
Me too.
Yeah, the blue one.
Taker and Bearer.
Oh yeah. No.
So Scott, what was Big John Studd like?
He was a sweetheart. He was a sweet. He was trying out for a movie. We're trying out for the same movie, The Money Pit, with Tom Hanks and Shelley Long.
Yes, good movie.
And he neither one of us got it, but it's like, okay.
Oh shit! Let's see that. Hold on. Oh, that's you. Yeah, that's you with the blue steel cage.
Yep.
I remember that. You would have made a good referee.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, it's like the way things happened and my age, and I don't want to say inexperience in that world, but it's actually that picture of the steel cage was Boston at the Garden. And I drove home that Saturday night and Sunday. In the afternoon, I got a call from Vince at my house. And he's like, hey, are you free tomorrow to work WrestleMania 2? And I'm like, sure. He's like, can you get out to the island? I said, sure, no problem. That's easy. I've been there before. No problem. He's like, listen, I'm short staffed. I've got Chicago. I've got LA. I got all these celebrities. Take care of the celebrities in New York, whatever they need, get them their waters, their food, whatever it is. Go early, be there by 2:00. Pat Patterson will hand you money. Go shopping, take care. Okay. So, I mean, little did I know. I mean, I knew it was Mr. T and Lou Duva, and then it became G. Gordon Liddy, Joan Rivers, Cab Calloway, Mr. T. And then I had to take care of, their dressing rooms and help put up part of the boxing ring and, all that.
It's probably better to have you do it because you were from that world, so you wouldn't be starstruck.
Well, but he's like, you're in the movies. You know what to do. You know what celebrities want. Okay, fine. And a couple of weeks later, I saw him, and he said, thank you. Did a great job. Nobody complained. And all I had to do was open my mouth. If I would have said, Vince, can I have a job? My whole life would have changed. I would have gone in a completely different direction altogether. I would have ended up with Titan, with WWF.
Because you would have been a pretty cool referee.
It would have been fun. I'm kind of small. I'm only 5'2". I'm not exactly 4'10" like that.
Referees are pretty small.
Oh no, I mean, like Charles Robinson's still like a head and a half taller than me.
Really?
I think he's like 5'7", 5'8". I'm like not even 5'2".
Well, you could have reffed the midget matches.
Yeah. Ooh. The Tonga Kid.
You could have
the Haiti Kid. I'm sorry, the Haiti Kid.
I always wanted, when I was promoting, I always wanted to do a step ladder match. Just have a really tall guy hold the belt up like this.
Booker T did that at WrestleMania a couple years ago. Remember that?
They stole my gimmick. They stole my gimmick.
He pulled it out. Was like, tell me this didn't just happen.
I had ideas, bro. I wanted to have a tag team called a tag team of Mexicans, and I wanted to have them face a team called the Texas Border Patrol. And how you win the matches, you have to throw your opponents over a barricade, over the wall.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I shot down a lot. But...
Here goes
Totally politically incorrect. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mike.
With all this Carmine talk and what he's going with, it's actually time for me to bow out. But I had to go out. I do. I'm sorry. I have real life stuff to do, Carmine. I don't sit like you in my house all day. So
you smell.
So I'm sorry, but Scott, it was great being on with you.
Mike, a pleasure, man.
And along with everybody else, so I will talk to everybody later. And
we will see you on Saturday for
happy holidays, man.
Saturday.
Happy holidays to you, sir.
God bless, brother. So yeah, there's a lot of Carmine talk going on, but
yeah. I mean, listen, I had a blast. I did 17 months, and it was, I mean, it's great. It's pre-cell phones and all that stuff. So it's like, guys are calling me at home. It's like Randy calling me at home, Brutus calling me at home, Vince calling me at home. Rene Goulet, if you guys know who, most you should know Rene Goulet, the Frenchman, he nicknamed me Mr. Free, F-R-E, Mr. Free, because I didn't get paid. I was just free help. So every time, I was either Mr. Free or go to.
Yeah,
go to Scotty. Go to Scotty. Go to Scotty.
The payoff was just being around those guys and doing that cool shit.
Oh, I had a blast. One of the things that we were talking about before is when is it proper to come up to somebody for an autograph?
No, wait, I should say Nick also did 17 months. It was at a maximum security prison, but he did 17 months as well. So
I was supposed to tell anybody that one.
Nick, you didn't deserve that. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Rawway. It was at Rawway too, Jersey.
Dude, how do you sitting down? Anyway, so
Interleague.
Having those guys call me at home and it's just like whatever, and at any given moment anybody can call during the day, whatever. But going to dinners with Hogan, and Savage, and people coming up, and nobody knew who I was. It was like a different world, even though I was that movie guy.
You still look like you.
I still look like me, but it was like in a different world. And they don't expect the guy from the movies to be the guy sitting with Randy or Hulk or whatever. And so I would play asshole. I'd be like, listen, can you just let him eat? Let us finish whatever you want. After he's done, he'll sign the autograph. He'll take the picture, whatever can you let him eat, please? And Hogan, especially the times we went out to dinner, he would always make sure I was on the outside. He was on the inside. Because when it started, he was on the outside and I was on the, he would be by the people and I'd be by the window.
Yeah.
And then after 5 people would come over, and the next night when I said, no, let's flip this. You get on the inside by the window. I'll be out there where people come up and I'll keep them away. He's like, we got to do that always.
It's so stupid that people would do that while you're in the middle of eating. Like, have some decorum.
It's their moment of, oh my God, I'm never going to see this person again. They don't realize that person is still going to be sitting there in 10 minutes, or they're going to be getting up to walk out. It's like, there's no magic carpet. They don't disappear.
You can wait.
Right. Just be patient and whatever it is. We went, Peter was producing The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn. And we all went to a Cub game. So it was me, Peter, Vince, Jason Bateman, and another guy. And Vince took the rail. Jason's next to him, then Peter, and then me. Well, this lasted about an inning and a half because people were just coming up to Vince on the end, take a picture. So finally, I'm like, hey, everybody move down. I'm getting up. Just move down one. So now I'm on the end, and Vince is next to me, and then Jason, whatever. And people come up. I say, listen, can you just let him enjoy the game? After the game, you're more than welcome to come up. We'll be walking like everybody else. Get a picture afterwards. Just let the guys enjoy the game. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, man. Okay, that's fine.
That has to be so fucking annoying. You can't do something without somebody bothering you. Eddie goes through that all the time.
I mean, most of the time, either they're sitting in the front where they've kind of got a little section for VIPs, celebrities, whomever, politicians, whatever, or they put you up in the suites. Yes. I mean, actually, I was at a Dodger game years ago with Barry Bonds, who's a friend of mine, and I was in the clubhouse, and I had to go get my ticket.
That's so cool.
So I had to take the elevator up to the suite level and go across all the suites and then go back down, and that's where I picked up the ticket. And as I'm walking across, one of the suites opened up, and Tom Hanks sticks his head out.
Oh, shit.
And I'm just walking by. Wow. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. And I just kept on walking, But other than that, nobody would be able to have contact with him. He'd be in the suite. Then after the game, they wait, and then they have a little security thing, and they take him in the elevator, and they're gone.
Because I mean, that's it's really, like I said, Eddie goes through it all the time because people think he's Pitbull.
Dale.
Well, I'm shaved now, so I mean, I look a little different.
Yeah. And if you walk by me, I wouldn't really. I mean, I know who Pitbull is. I think I've seen him on the Manias, but in walking, I would never go. Are you going to WrestleMania? Not currently. Not currently.
Well, you've been to WrestleManias before, so it's not really a big deal for you.
2, 5, 9. Jesus, what was it? 32, 33, something like that. Book is coming out. It'll be out next year. It wasn't my fault. It's the fakakta COVID, which put the company back and all that crap. Thank you, Gianni, for asking. Appreciate it. But I've been to 5 Manias, something like that.
Have you?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I worked WrestleMania 2, and then I went to 5, 9, and then 2 more, of the newer people,
Where were you at for number 2? Which arena?
I was New York. So I was the Savage match, and there was a few other ones, but then the Piper Mr. T boxing match. I'm actually on it. Nice. When they first, like the first round, it's like 18 seconds in, you just see me cross the bottom of the bottom rope, and then Mel Phillips, the black guy that worked for them that they say didn't work for them.
He worked for them.
But it was all bullshit. No, whatever you heard is bullshit. Just take my word for it.
Really?
I spent 17 months on the road with this guy. Nothing ever happened. He wasn't improper. He did nothing. Could it have happened other places with other people?
Maybe he just wasn't attracted to you.
He stayed at my home with my parents.
I mean,
we stayed in hotel rooms together. We drove together.
You weren't that cute, Scott. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
No, he was a cute little shit.
So Mel comes and he had me looking for something. I'm like, dude, I can't find what the hell you're looking for. And he's like, what the fuck and whatever. And then that was it. But
it's possible though that because you were a high profile person, he wouldn't try it with you. I don't know. I mean, you know him better than I do. I don't know the guy, but
listen, I lost track of him. I wish I could find him again. He was nothing but great to me.
I think he passed away.
Did he? I have no idea.
Mel Phillips, do you know?
I don't know if anybody knows. I mean, the last I heard, the rumors were he's in like Rhode Island working at a Best Buy or something. That was like the last I heard, and that was years ago.
He was a really good ring announcer. I'll say that.
He was a good everything. He just pissed somebody off, and once you piss somebody off, they figure out how to get rid of you. And I don't mean the company itself. I don't mean Vince and Stephanie and Hunter. That's not who did it. There was just other people that would just be able to have the juice and the power to get rid of people, and one of them just got recently canned. Carano. Bye-bye.
Hey, Scott, I have a question. Now that you're speaking on this, I know you're familiar with what happened with Ric Flair and all the accusations on the
plane
airplane.
ride to hell.
Yeah. Now, what I'm not going to ask you and put you down some rabbit hole. What do you think about that situation and being in the WWF?
Well, I was never on a plane with them, a private jet. We all knew they loved to drink. So it's like, could guys have gotten out of hand on a plane? Absolutely. Anything is possible. Now, again, it's years and decades later. And so what do you do to people? You want to penalize them? Okay. How do you want to do that? The people that were involved never sued, because then it would have been a lawsuit and there would have been money exchanged. Okay, fine, or whatever. So it's like, what do you do? I mean, now it's, and I'm not saying it's right. So don't anybody say, oh, well, he said it. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, how do you make it right 15 years later or 20 years later?
Correct. What do you do now?
I mean, are you saying that 15 or 20 years later that Ric Flair should be fired and not hired and be out of work? And is that what you do? Or do you go the other way and go, well, these people need to be financially taken care of in some form or facet? Okay, fine. Which seemingly is always the end of the road anyway.
Correct.
Should he go to jail for exposing himself to a woman 15 years ago? This is not my decision.
Prince exposed himself to me a half an hour before the show. I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about some pretty heavy drinkers back in the day.
Had to show what I was working with, man.
No, but it was, again, I've been around wrestlers my whole life. They do drink a little bit.
I was the DD, so they knew anytime that we were someplace, I would get them home. I'd get them back to the hotel because I didn't drink.
Yeah, I still don't drink.
I'm
not drinking. Nick likes to drink.
But I mean,
bottoms up.
There were so many situations that were nuttier than the plane ride.
That's interesting that you say bottoms up, because that's actually the title of Scott's book.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Same meaning or no?
No.
Yeah. Holy Carmine.
Carmine, you're a sick bastard.
But Scott, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I've seen a lot of interviews. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what they did to Tommy Dreamer after his comments, but I think what he said is what you're kind of saying. Like 15 years later, now you want to do something because it's popular and it's on Dark Side of the Ring. Now you want to make it a spectacle. And I kind of think that was Tommy Dreamer, what he was actually saying, but they took it to another level and acted like he didn't care about the situation.
Okay, so you've got the cancel culture. This is what people are up against. You're up against people who have nothing to do with any of the situation, don't know any of the players involved, and they're going to make a judgment based on what they think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what they know, but it's what they think. You know, and do I feel bad for the woman or the two women? Of course,
Absolutely.
Am I saying it was right and proper? No, I'm not saying that either. I'm saying 15 years later, what do you want? If you're coming forward to talking about this, you must want something.
Right.
Now, is it you want to ruin the man's reputation? Do you want to have him not out of work? Do you want financial compensation? Do you want him to go to jail? Make up your mind. Say something.
Right.
You know, to throw the stuff out there and just leave it floating, it leads to all of the things that are happening. You know?
Right.
And I mean, okay, so Ric Flair is a married man with Wendy. They're not married for 20 years. See, he wasn't married to this woman when all this stuff went down. So now how is his new wife supposed to react to something that happened 15 years or 10 years before they ever met?
Right.
We all have a history, good, bad, and different. You know?
Correct.
I mean,
it's not right. It's not right.
There's two sides to everything. And again, I'm not saying whatever Rick did was right by any means. There's two sides to everything. And at the end of the day, what does it come down to? You know, it's the same kind of situation that's going on with the school shooting, you know, with the kid and whatever, and the parents are now in jail. But now it's the school is going to be held semi-responsible, but maybe they won't be judiciously, you know, arrested. Nobody goes to jail, but they're certainly on the hook for financial reasons.
Oh, yes.
The families are going to sue the school, and they will get money out of it. Now, would they rather have their child? Of course, you know, there's no question. But the money is not going to bring the child back.
Right.
Correct.
So it's like it's the same thing. What happened on the plane, money isn't going to take that away. It's just going to give them a more comfortable life going forward.
Right.
But it doesn't take away the hurt, the pain, whatever they're feeling.
Well, and I think that the ship for suing on that has sailed.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Rick's, I think, banished for the moment, but he's not with Vince anyway. So then is it IEW or is it going to be somebody else? Or, I mean, Rick is still out there and he does appearances and, you know, and it's not like I got to think how many weeks ago was Virginia? We did Chantilly, I want to say JSA show, but that's probably not right. But it could be in Chantilly, Virginia. And there's 200 people standing online to get Ric Flair's autograph.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's not one person, male, female, going, hey, man. Not one.
Well, what you said, Scott, is very accurate for now. He's not involved for now because we all know eventually he will be back in the WWE at some point. Even, you know, AEW. It's just once this goes away, I think Ric Flair will withstand this. And we don't know 100% what happened. It's all hearsay, and it's 15, 20 years ago. So I see what you mean about letting it go.
There's some hearsay to it.
Yeah.
But when you got everybody that was pretty much on that plane knew what happened, they were like, "Oh, geez, you know, we can't." And Rick and we know something happened,
right?
Yeah.
You know, but again, it comes down to what does this one or two women from the plane ride want? What do they want? Do they want a written apology? Okay. Well, you got to say what you want.
I thought one of them got compensated as hush money or something like that.
I think you're right, Prince.
I heard
then
that too.
Then I believe Ric Flair on his podcast said he'd never work for WWE again.
I'll believe that when I see it, though.
Recently, and this was recently.
Yeah, you're right, Eddie.
Now listen,
Yeah,
you know,
he'll be back.
it's the capacity and whatever they want him to do. He's not talent anymore. We understand that. His ring days are over.
Right.
Is he going to be in the back? Would he be in the back producing? Would he be in the back helping guys development of character? Is he going to be at the performance center? I mean, he is one of the ring technicians of all time. He's in the Hall of Fame ring technicians.
Right.
So is he teaching people? And is that something they necessarily have to publicize? I mean, at 6 months, a year, whatever the small banishment is, somebody could have a conversation and say, Rick, there's 4 guys. They really need some help with being a technician. Come down to Orlando. Just shut up. Don't put it on your podcast or whatever.
Correct.
You want to work. We're going to give you a job. Just keep your mouth shut.
Right.
But, we just don't know what the future holds. Hogan had a banishment for, his thing,
Yeah, true. That's very
And
true.
if he can come back from that,
Hogan's Hogan.
if he can come back from that, I think anybody can come back
Yeah,
from
but
it.
you
And by
say,
the
Ric,
way,
you say Ric Flair and Ric Flair is Ric Flair and Hogan is Hogan. They're both icons of a generation and of the
biggest.
industry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why they can come back.
Ric Flair held, World Championship Wrestling and Southern, what was it? Southern Championship?
NWA.
And NWA, thank you. He's the man. He's holding up the whole company. Hogan held up the whole company. We understand he became the icon of the icon because of Rocky and everything else, but they're both on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why
Absolutely.
anyone can come back. It's them. It's not some,
It's like the
mid-card
Warrior.
IC champ.
Right, Nick. Just like the
Like my
Warrior,
favorite.
they brought him back. I mean, even on a Legends contract, they're going to want Ric Flair just around. I mean, because you said to me, the 80s, I mean, even probably all time, Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan are definitely in the top 5 of all time.
Different reasons. Rick for his in-ring performance and Hogan for his out-of-ring, what he did for the industry as a whole.
Right.
I mean, he puts professional wrestling on the map as an international. Oh my God. They got wrestling all over, but everybody knows Hulk Hogan from Japan to Australia, United States, and every place else.
that's a good way to look at it. Hogan was like Babe Ruth, and Ric Flair was like Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig was the workhorse. Yeah, but Ruth was the biggest name.
But Ruth was still Ruth and had 713 or 714 home runs. Hulk is just a different thing because he was not a ring technician. He's not a Ricky Steamboat. He's not a Savage. He's not a Flair. He had charisma, mountains of charisma, and he had the leg drop and the arms and the look.
Yeah.
And he
about
could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Think about it too. Hulk Hogan was so popular, like you said, that he's known all over the world. You don't even have to know wrestling. You know who Hulk Hogan is. He's been on Sports Illustrated. I think because I remember when I was younger in the 80s getting all the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines and everything, they always made that comparison with Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. And for the people that didn't know who Ric Flair was, they did after that because they wanted to know who it was. And then WTBS became popular and the Four Horsemen and
cable.
So I think he's got a lot to, you never hear that, but Flair should be thanking Hogan a little bit for that comparison.
Hell yeah.
Put him on the map.
Yeah. Who's this other guy? Who's this other Hogan that's out there? Who's their
Well, no, listen, they knew who each other were. There was no
but
question
the
about
normal
that.
fan, the marginal fan.
Oh no, the typical fan has, if you didn't live in the South, you realistically had no idea who Ric Flair was. I lived in the Northeast. I grew up in Jersey, WPIX, WWOR. And so we watched, WWF wrestling. We didn't get anything from the South. So
once CBS hit, I was watching that too.
Me too. And then AWA and ESPN, but it took a while. We were older.
Right. It takes cable to come in.
Yeah.
But then you had to want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Even, I mean, it was on Saturday nights, 11 o'clock at night is when you see, on TBS.
Yeah, you're right.
But I didn't give a damn because I wanted to see anything that was wrestling. I could have watched 2 fucking sticks wrestle each other. It wouldn't have mattered to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
little sticks.
Vince, WWF is on 11 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock at night on Saturday nights, Saturdays and Saturday nights, wrestling superstars.
Yeah.
Superstars of wrestling.
Wrestling Challenge.
Yeah. Tuesday Night Titans.
Yes. I love Tuesday Night Titans. I love Tuesday Night Titans.
I was on that set. I have pictures of me on that set.
Are you really?
With Mel and Mark Eaton, the ring announcer. I have pictures of me. I got it here. Oh, it was great, man.
How come you don't ever send me these pictures?
I don't know.
These are the kind of pictures I want to see.
Yeah, no, it's just
keep sending me pictures of you and Prince in bed. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, right. Well, you guys can keep talking. It's all right. I'm finding this picture, but
Eddie's doing
there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that people didn't know and they didn't want to know.
It's funny you say that, Carmine, because I got 2 sales during this time for that Randy Savage belt. I've had 2 people ask me about that since we've been on here. Yeah, I shit you not.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Hold on. Wait, let's zoom in. Oh, there it is. Okay, you took a picture of it.
That's amazing to me. What's the most cherished possession that you have, Scott, as far as wrestling?
This is probably it.
That's it.
All right. Hold on.
I thought you were sending it to me for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Elizabeth's signature. That's amazing.
That's dope.
Yep. Hold on. There we go.
That's the white whale you don't hardly get.
Yeah, no, that's not going anywhere.
We got to work on fixing your phone, though, bro. How'd you crack it so much? What's going on there?
I dropped it. I went to the place. Guess what they tell me? We're sorry. We don't have any of the covers right now, the glass right now, due to the COVID, and the supply chain is sitting on the fucking boat and whatever.
Yep.
So that's why I haven't gotten it fixed yet. It's not like I don't have the $60 to fix the goddamn thing. They don't have the glass to do it.
Joe has a plan for that, though, so don't worry. Hang tight.
Anybody watching NXT right now?
No. The Gargano's gone, huh?
I'm guessing. I don't know. He's coming out to, I guess, give his farewell address or something. I don't know.
But is he gone from NXT or is he gone from WWE?
No clue.
Yeah, he's going up to the.
That's me and Mel Phillips on the set of Tuesday Night Titans.
Shit.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Oh, that is fucking cool. I loved that. I loved that show.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott has a lot of cool shit, man. There was one day we were sitting in chat, and he just brought out a whole bunch of shit that, like, you have a lot of memorabilia, man.
Just listen. It's life. You go through 40 years of doing this shit, and
I
it's
think you
like,
have that one room in your house is like all autographs and shit.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that as much as like
I got stuff all over the place.
I never sent you my autograph though, and I'm sorry about that. I'll get that done. Don't worry about it.
I can't live without it.
It's you cherish that right next to Savage and Elizabeth. You know?
That's right. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, my autograph's rare, baby.
I'm sure.
Don't just sign willy-nilly for people.
Yeah.
All right. So we are going to wrap this up, and at the 2-hour mark, Scott, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, that was
Thank
awesome.
you. I had a blast.
The wrestling part of the show is my thing, not the other guys. So there you go. You know,
You look exhausted though. You look exhausted. You look exhausted.
I told you beforehand. Well, first of all, I got home yesterday from Daytona and had a full day's worth of stuff to do. I had to ship out signed Red Ryder BB guns and photos to customers and all that. And then
I know what happened tonight.
Today I had to go over and see Mom during the afternoon, whatever. And for who's ever left watching this thing, my toilet backed up in my bedroom, and I didn't know. And I'm in my office, and then I walked out 45 minutes later, and there's water all over the floor.
Brutal.
In my hallway, in the bedroom, in the bathroom, in my closet. So I had to run and go get a water vac. And I dumped out almost 4 buckets, 4 9-gallon buckets full of water.
And now you got to about mold. Now you got to about mold, right? Because
basically what I've got to do is it's whatever's left, it'll just dry. And then I'm going to have to clean it again. Then I'll just have to wash it.
Is it any like any rugs or anything like that?
No.
Oh, you're fortunate.
No, I have cargo floors.
Very fortunate. If you had rugs, you'd be really fucked.
Oh, I did that already once. I had come home. I was at the Chiller show in New Jersey, and I was there for 5 days. And I come home, and I walked in the bedroom. At that time, I had carpeting, and it was. What is this? And so I turned the light on, and it's in the front of my sink, under my bed, in my closet. I had a pinhole size leak in the shower, and it's pressurized. So it soaked through the wall, went down the wall into the floor, but I was gone for 5 days. So there's nobody to stop it.
Oh, fucking A.
So I called the plumber. They put the hole in the wall. They patched it up. Okay, fine. And I had to redo
You just got rid of the fucking rugs.
And of course, I got rid of the carpeting. I just put in Pargo.
Yeah.
So much easier, you know.
Ripped them up.
And then, so my last question for you before we get going. It's December 7th. How much more traveling do you have ahead of you this month?
This weekend, I'm in 2 different cities in Alabama. And then after that, I'm in Washington, D.C., Toledo, or I'm in Novi, Michigan at Playball Inc. Hang on, I might as well give the plug for the
Been to Novi.
Yeah.
Where is it? She's got
Hedge Scotch coming to you.
I will be at Great Moments in Westminster, Maryland, a week from Wednesday. And then after that, then I'm at Playball Inc. in Novi, Michigan. That Thursday, I think it's the 17th or 18th, somewhere around there. And then I'm at Playball Inc. in Toledo, Ohio for a couple days after that. And then I am at Asylum Toys and Gifts and stuff in Phoenix.
Wow.
You get tired of flying?
No,
You
TSA pre-check. I've got priority. They just upgraded me to first.
Did they?
For the trip, for half the trip to Dallas on Thursday morning. No, I mean, getting on the plane, you know, when boarding time is 6 a.m., you know, and I got to catch the 3:45 bus down to the airport.
Been there, man.
The other day, and I'm like, because I'm thinking of California time. I was, he's fucking texting me early, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm at the airport at 6 a.m. You're flying into Florida, right?"
Was that last week or this week?
Might have been last week. You were flying into Florida.
Yeah, I was flying to
It was last
Daytona.
week. Yeah, Daytona.
Yeah, Zach and I were on the what the hell time was our flight? I picked him up at 5. No, our flight was it boarded at like 8:25.
It was like 6 a.m. your time when you texted me, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, fuck it, this is early for him. Are you signing in Dallas? Marshall wants to know. Are you going to be in Dallas?
No, I just have a layover. I'm sorry, Marshall. I just have a layover.
But here's the cool thing. Like I said, if you go to a ChristmasStoryGift.com, all these guys have signed stuff there and can personalize and all kinds of shit. So,
You know,
you
I mean, or
definitely
if you just send me a message on Facebook, I can do it that way too.
Yeah.
You know, anything with me or me and Ralphie or me or Ralphie, you can just shoot me a Facebook and say, hey,
or message me and I'll put you in contact with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Facebook. One of Carmine's Facebook friends, not really a friend in real life, but
no, I don't like me in real life. But well, they can't see my friends are hidden. I hide my friends. So I hide my friends. I because, and here's why. And I'll tell this to people out there: the reason you hide your friends is because a lot of these scammers, what they'll do is they'll make a fake Facebook account of you, and then they'll go through your friends list and try and request all your friends, and then sell them whatever scam that they're doing as you. So
you must be really popular because I haven't had that happen to me. Nick, have you had that happen to you? Eddie? Prince, have you had that happen to you?
Well, that's why I have the blue check
Not at
mark,
all.
so that you can actually make sure it's me and not a fake me.
I mean, Prince could make
Mr.
up
Blue check mark.
fire, things and whatever. So,
He will send you a friend request. So yeah, no, I mean
that's not what I said. I didn't say send me a friend's request. I said tell me what you want.
But no, yeah, I guess I'm a little popular. That's happened to me a couple of times. That's why I got the blue check mark for that specific reason.
And
it happened to me a couple of times.
It's the Sly Sterling lookalike thing. It's all right,
It is. I'm not only the president, but I'm also a client. So,
Prince is going. I have no idea what the fuck that is at all.
Not at all.
There was a guy back in the 70s who
He's
had
young.
a company
80s.
in the 80s for bald guys, and it was a hair growth thing.
And he was not only the hair club
And
president.
he would say,
he was
I'm not
also a
only
client.
the founder, but I'm a client. He takes off his his toupee, and he's bald.
Yeah.
So it's Carmine.
I do not hate.
Definitely.
No, I
You had
actually
your friend from a crazy girlfriend.
I actually
He must
played-
know you.
I actually played Mr. Spacely in the live action Jetsons. So that's
very good.
That's a good one.
Jetson. So, guys, we love you. God bless you, Scott. I'll call you tomorrow.
You got
Thank you, Scott.
Good,
Yeah,
everybody.
Scott,
Great
thank you,
talking.
brother.
Eddie, Nick,
Take
you
care.
guys all have a